What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. And I'm your host, Harold Sullivan. We're going to talk about X-Men today, the cartoon, and some Star Wars stuff, She-Hulk, quite a bit here. And also, I was on Bloody Disgusting podcast. They played a voicemail that I left, and they were asking for questions and things. So go check out Bloody Disgusting podcast episodes. The episode number 23, 223 is the number. And this episode here, I think we're doing now is about 224 actually. So that's pretty neat. Synchronicities. And this is the fourth season. In case y'all haven't tuned in before, I lost my sight almost 4 years ago in June here. And I was born with an autoimmune disease. And everyone has a story. You can't judge a book by its cover. And that's what this podcast is about. And if you want to be our guest on audio or video, you can email hs19782015 at outlook.com. You can call the show 724-513-1472. And you can check out old episodes. We got music too, and just psychic readings, a couple of new ones of those on YouTube and TikTok under Harold Sullivan 78, and then Harold Sullivan period 35 on Facebook. And we appreciate if you want to be an audio or video guest, you can let us know, or just like or subscribe, any of that. We appreciate it. So I've been doing Disney Plus a little bit lately, and they got all kinds of content. I didn't really want to get into all that because there's so much. And the problem with it is there's just one season, or maybe two. It's like they just opened up that channel and they got a bunch of content to get people on, and then, but some of the stuff is okay. I'm just a very tough critic on stuff. 46 now, and all these years of movies and TVs and music and stuff, even before I lost my sight. So I've written stuff and did fan films and music and all that. So I'm tough on it. But let's talk about She-Hulk first. What was it? I think it's 9 episodes. All these are pretty much like, that's another thing. These are seasons now, 8, 9, 10 episodes, 6 episodes. And in my time it was 20 something episodes, or 20, or at least in the high teens. Supernatural did like 20 to 22 or more each season, and that was 300 and some episodes over 15 seasons. Quantum Leap and X-Files did the same thing, close to 20 a season, pretty much. Except for Quantum Leap, the first season was half a season. It was a filler, took over. But anyway, so She-Hulk, it's okay. It actually has Mark Ruffalo back. Spoilers. Plays Hulk, the smart Hulk now. He's Hulk all the time when he talks. I'm not really a fan of that, and then they actually bring in some characters like Abomination and Daredevil, which has his own show, the same actor. So I might start checking that out. But it's basically Banner's cousin, and there's an accident, and she gets some of his blood and becomes him. But it's Hulk from a woman's point of view, so there's a lot of women things in there, and it's funny though. It's different. A lot of adult though. The ratings now are 14 on a lot of these stuff, and kids used to be able to watch this kind of stuff, but now you have to be 14. Like it's something. Same with Star Wars. That was for kids. Now you got to be 14. There's a lot in there. But it's decent. I recommend it. I don't know if they're going to do another season. But She-Hulk is pretty good. And I like how they kind of keep it in the Marvel universe, of course. X-Men 97 is basically a continuation of the old X-Men cartoons that were on in the 90s. And all the voices are pretty much the same, except for my nephew pointed out to me that Gambit, the actor, might have passed. So, but they all sound pretty much, I mean, it's almost 30 years later. They all sound spot on pretty much. And I think there's 9 episodes of that. And at first I wasn't really into it, but then I remembered, and my nephew helped me also remember the story. He's a little younger than me. He's not a kid, if you are thinking that. Steven's been on the podcast before. He's close to 40 or so. But yeah, he helped me remember the old storylines. So I was like, okay, yeah, that does fit in. So it's pretty neat. I do recommend X-Men '97, but again, they only done one season, so we got to get more because those characters and even the voice for Wolverine was different, and Beast, and they were just at the time it was great, for youngsters. And same with the Spider-Man cartoon that was on around that time. Mark Hamill actually did the Hobgoblin, or Green Goblin's voice, one of the Goblins' voice. I think it was the Hobgoblin. Yeah, the Hobgoblin's voice before he even did the Joker cartoon. And so I recommend it. Then we got Obi-Wan, and I actually went back and listened to Star Wars: New Hope for the first time since I've been blind. But Obi-Wan is, I didn't like that they were doing the show, but they are bringing Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader. So there is some more scenes with them. But my whole thing was I thought, that there was nothing happened between A and B, right? But apparently there was this other escapades and spoilers. There's a young Leia, and at the end, Obi-Wan meets a young Luke. Okay, and I was like, oh no, I knew it was coming. But when you go back and you watch A New Hope of Star Wars, A New Hope, uh, and Obi-Wan and Luke meet, it's as if they had known each other or met before. So they recognize each other. So they did meet, but I didn't know that Leia had met. Like I don't know, but it's a decent, and they bring other characters in and stuff. It's like a prequel to the 4, 5, and 6, but it takes place after Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith. So it's decent, Obi-Wan. And then Star Wars, I want to give my review of A New Hope. I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10. The original, well, the redone version with the extra couple of scenes in it. But just such great acting and writing and just no money and just the visualizations. And to think that George Lucas got like $4 billion for his ideas and his companies and everything. My God, $4 billion. But A New Hope, yeah, A New Hope. I give it an 8 out of 10 to Star Wars Episode 4. And for y'all don't know, originally there was no numbers on those. It was just A New Hope, etc., etc. Then they went in, I believe, either for later on movie releases or the VHS. They put in Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, so they could go in and then do 1, 2, and 3. But Darth and Luke's father were never supposed to be the same person. Anakin was always a different person, even even in A New Hope. They never say that Anakin and Darth are the same person, and so he becomes the same person in part 5. So, also I want to mention a little bit here, some more neat facts here before we go, and we're gonna bring on Chris, I believe, and talk about some things. Oh, on the Blake Disgusting, yeah, I was on the podcast. Let me tell you what happened there. So uh, I mentioned to them like some favorite songs in movies and stuff, or soundtracks. I said, or no, needle. I told them some of my needle drops. That was before I asked them that. They didn't see none of that. But on my second call back, I asked them. I told them some of my favorite jump scares from movies, and one was the first Friday the 13th spoiler at the end when Jason comes out of the boat. Even though I knew it was coming because I was more of an adult when I seen that movie, so people spoiled it, and I seen clips of it. But and then the other clip was in the first Paranormal Activity, and I never checked out any of them after that. But when the girl's standing there, the lady above the guy's bed for hours, and he's looking at they're checking out the recording, and she's just standing there. That was another scare. Not really a jump scare, but just a scare that got me. Because I'm too close to that paranormal, as you all know. So that just got me, which is freaky. Don't mess with that stuff. But yeah, let me tell you about this now. They're saying that the moon is hollow and it was put there on purpose because it's there. It's just the right size to block us from radiation and from to have the gravity right. Without the moon, we wouldn't be able to. The planet would be off, and it couldn't have just got sucked into gravity in orbit. How did it get there? You know, scientists originally said that something hit what was here first and made Earth, and the leftovers caused the moon, which just seems like crap. Because they said that they got seismographs or whatever on the moon, and it vibrated a couple of times when the Apollo missions let down their junk on the moon. Vibrated for hours. So that right there proves. They said the moon is metal, and there's something underneath the surface that is keeping the moon, uh, the meteors from getting so far down and things. And all the sand and that on the moon is created from all the impact of the meteors. But they say that all that dust and that is what we would put up there uh, if we wanted to hide something underneath the surface to have the most absorbent impact. So as far as chemicals, so that's pretty neat. And also again, they're saying we come from Mars because it's 70 degrees right all year on Mars. Why do we need sunscreen here? Why do we need sunglasses? We're still adapting because we didn't come from here. Think about it. We might have landed here or been brought here, but we're not from here. But we're still adapting all these years later to this planet. It's like it was set up here, and the Earth was, or the Moon was put here. The Earth might even have been made. Maybe a planet was blown up because there is a asteroid belt right next to Mars, and they think it might have been a planet that was destroyed. So maybe there was a lunar planet was destroyed or destroyed on purpose, and all this was created to make this perfect storm for life here. I think about it. You know, I got way more on that, but love is a choice, and so is to hate. Or love is a choice, and so is to hate. And we will be back with Chris. What's up, everyone? We got Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
Not much. Just got done here, and the stupid heater came on. It's 70-some degrees out, ain't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we're both not feeling too good, but we're gonna do this here. Make sure I got that recorder going. Oh crap. We're gonna do Stump the Stringert here, and I want to tell you about a documentary series that I was just checking out. It was 6 parts. Each one, it's called Behind the Monsters. So each part is like, one is about Halloween and Michael Myers, one's about Chucky, one's about Freddy, Pinhead, I think Scream, and Candyman. So actually I found out, first of all, I didn't know, at the end of Scream, originally Dewey was supposed to die. The first Scream. But they went and shot an extra scene with him walking out, so it changed the end. But originally Wes Craven was going to have Dewey die. And then another thing is, what's her name at the beginning? What's the blonde girl's name? I keep forgetting her name. From E.T. And Scream, the first girl. Drew Barrymore. I don't know why I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But anyway, Drew Barrymore was supposed to be the star, not Neve Campbell. And I guess once they started shooting, she backed out and she said, you know what, it'd be better if I get killed right away. It'd be more of a shock. So she actually came up with that. Drew Barrymore changed the whole movie. They were going to quit shooting the movie. Wes Craven was going to quit actually a couple times on that because the way it was, just where it was turning out, you know what I mean? And here's another thing. Remember the guy in the guy mopping the floor with the sweater, the Freddy sweater on, and Scream?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's Wes Craven.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't even recognize. I mean, back then, I guess when I was younger, I didn't know what he looked like. But when you go back again, yeah, watch Scream. That's Wes Craven. He said he actually had the hat and sweater on it. He went and dug it out and put it on, and it was weird. But so he has his own cameo. And Scream, the director from Nightmare on Elm Street, in case people don't know. who he is. They never seen him, you know. In New Nightmare, he plays a big part because he plays himself, right? But yeah, that's him. So there's a neat little fact. And then one more thing, Bloody Disgusting, the podcast I told you about that I listen to sometimes, they actually played one of my messages on the air on their episode 223, and I asked them about movie one-liners and stuff, like I'm going to ask you. So they actually, one of their guys brought up Ash. They have 2 women and there's a guy on there, right? 3 people doing the host. And so the guy brought up Ash, like, so from Evil Dead, saying that he had some of the cool one-liners. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Because for these people are like 30 or younger, you know what I mean? They're younger people. They're not like us, close to 50, and they don't know a lot of the older movies, you know. But Ash, it was cool that he brought that up. He said Ash. So we're going to do Stump the Stringert. I got a couple questions for you, and one of them is going to be about one-liners from movies. The first one is names, real names, okay? Like, you know, like Freddy is Freddy Krueger, obviously. The Shape is Michael Myers. Okay, so some of them have, like, for instance, in The Shining, the killer's name. You know The Shining? Do you know the killer's name in The Shining?
Shining?
Yeah.
Killer's name in The Shining.
Yeah.
I should know it.
Yeah, you know it. You just have you're just having a moment. Yeah, it's right there on there. And then the second part would be who plays him. You know who plays the for extra point. Who plays?
Here's Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah. Who plays him though?
Jack Nicholson.
Okay, but it's slipping you though the guy's name, right? Who he plays?
Yeah.
Actually, it's the same name, ain't it? The same name as the actor. What's the actor's first name? You just said it.
Johnny.
Yeah, no, he says here's Johnny, but that's because of the Tonight Show, I think. But no, who plays who's it? You just said Nicholson.
Nicholson, yeah.
Yeah, what's his first name?
Oh shit.
Jack. You just said Jack. And yeah.
He twisted it, yeah.
And that's the killer's and Jack Torrance, right?
Jack Torrance, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a clue, but it's the same name, Jack. Okay. What about Candyman? Do you know his real name?
Tony Todd.
I'm getting you on some good ones. Yeah, that's the actor, but do you know what his actual name was? You know, Candyman was his nickname, but he had a name. It actually starts with a D, the first name. I'll give you a little hint. You'll know it when you hear it, too. I'm getting you on some good ones here, but, I mean, you should know. You give up?
No, not yet.
It starts with a D, his first name. So just think about it. There's not too many first names for guys with D's that start with a D, right?
No, I forget it.
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel Robot.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch Candyman too much, that's why.
Robitaille, something like that, right? Does that sound right? I'm not sure how to pronounce the last if it's right. Robitaille. But yeah, he originally was a white character. I didn't know that in the book. I can't find it on audio. The original Clive Barker short story, Candyman, is not black. They changed a lot to make the movie and stuff, which it fits better the way they did it. You know what I mean? So, what about Leatherface? I asked you that before a couple, I think last year maybe. There's 2 different Leatherfaces. You remember either ones of their names, the remake one or the original?
Thomas Hewitt.
Yep. That's the remake one. And you know the first name, the family, right? They had a family.
Sawyers, yeah.
Yes, okay, Bubba, right?
Yeah.
They called him Bubba Sawyer. That was okay. So we got...
That was Drayton Sawyer, too.
Yeah, Drayton was the old guy, and I don't know what they called the hitchhiker. Edward. Was it Ed? No, that was the actor's name.
I don't know what they called the hitchhiker.
Just hitchhiker, right?
Yeah, pretty much think so, yeah.
Speaking of that, Bill Moseley got the job. You didn't know this, did you? Bill Moseley got the job in Texas Chainsaw because he wanted to be on Saturday Night Live, right? He was a comedian. And he made a skit called Texas Nail Salon Massacre or something, right? And where he played the hitchhiker, and that got him a job on Saturday Night or on Texas Chainsaw 2 because Toby Hooper saw that where he was playing the hitchhiker in this fan film, called Texas Chainsaw Salon or something, Texas Salon Massacre or something like that. Texas Nail Salon Massacre. I don't know. It's funny, but he plays the
Sounds corny.
yeah, but he plays the hitchhiker, so you could get where he, you know what I mean, where he got the idea, and he Chop Top, same character pretty much. I thought that was the same one originally. As part one, I just thought he survived, you know what I mean, because he got hit by that truck, but he could have lived. Then I realized it was two different characters, two brothers. I guess he was away. So we got that, and then how about some one-liners from movies? We'll start one up with an easy one. This is all horror movies though. They're here.
Poltergeist.
That's Poltergeist. That's a little girl from Poltergeist. How about this one? I'm gonna try to paraphrase it. I'm sick of this Michael Myers bullshit.
Halloween 2.
Is that Halloween too?
Yeah.
Because I know in Halloween
Wherever Bud goes, everybody's all worded out tonight. All this Michael Myers crap.
and that's the one I'm thinking is part 4, ain't it? With the mean guy, the stepdad who slaps the girl and makes her bleed on. I didn't like that guy, and Michael got him in the basement. Remember
Yeah, that was the 6th one. Yeah, that was Curse of Michael Myers.
That was 6, right? Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of because he's like, I'm sick. He says something like, I'm tired of this.
And then he says, enough of this Michael Myers bullshit.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's the one. I think they said it in a couple different ones, though, right? So he was just another one, but yeah, Michael got him in the basement. That guy's like, I'm not gonna move out of my own house, you know what I mean? And he got him. I didn't like her though. He beat up on his daughter, you know what I mean? You could tell. That's messed up. But yeah, that one there. And let's see what else we can. You're probably, what you got? Good. How about this? Good, bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Ash.
Ash from Evil Dead. That's a little known quote, but it's
Good, bad, I'm the one with the gun.
yeah. That's the one of Ash. And then when we have Roddy Piper, what's he say? I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones too.
They live. Yeah.
John Carpenter probably had to write that in there. You know what I mean? I don't think that was improvised, Eddie. So, and speaking of that, before we go, I actually just finished a trailer for the X-Files They Live. It's on YouTube and TikTok under Harold Sullivan 78 and Facebook under Harold Sullivan period 35. Remember I told you I had the idea for what if the X-Files and They Live came together? So I got this trailer and I'm going to try to get, when I get some more stuff sent out to you, I'm going to get you a copy of the video. But it's just a little movie trailer. What if they made the X-Files and they had the Roddy Piper crossover and he was in They Live, like a sequel, you know? And I actually got it done here and it got all original music. It's similar to the original themes though, but I don't want to get copyrighted, you know? So I did my own covers of the They Live. He has that specific theme, you know, for Roddy Piper. It's almost like a Western. You know, it's like boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 right? That's the They Live. But yeah, that's up on YouTube, and hopefully people will like that. And I got some more I'm working on. And we'll be back, right? I'm gonna hang up before we get off of here. I mean, I'm gonna hang up the recorder before we get off the phone. But we like to say, love's a choice and so is the hate, right? And everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
And we'll be back.